I literally just got done watching The Curse of Michael Myers. I literally just got done. Yeah, this is. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. This is next level stuff, man. Y'all turn me on to. I just literally got done with this, man. Literally, I just got done. I'm getting ready to go to bed here pretty soon, man. I worked out, had a good workout. Yeah, I don't know, man. This is y'all. Hey, yeah. It took 2 days to watch because I wanted to watch it last night, but I went on a 15-mile ride. And when I went on a 15-mile ride, I came home and I ate. And then I said, you know what? I ordered this. It was only like $10. And I got 3 movies all in one. So I get to watch Halloween H2O and Halloween Resurrection. I remember not really liking those movies too much, but I remember I thought they were okay. But man, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. To be quite honest with y'all, I don't remember this Halloween Curse of Michael Myers. And if I did, I was running around so much, man, having fun. Uh, I just, I'm looking on my phone, man, because I tell you what, I'm shocked, man, how good this is. But I'm gonna look it up. Yeah, and that bad boy came out in 1995. 1995. Yeah. And this one, I'm a, I have to read this because I just have to. It says this installment marks the return of the seemingly indestructible mass murderer Michael Myers, uh, who's targeting Tommy Doyle, Paul Stephen Rudd, a young man tied into the legacy of the killer and his connection with the Strode family. This is this. Yeah, you guys is right. Yeah. Y'all was right, man. Hey. Good look. I'm gonna tell you, good looking out. Good looking out, cause wow. I'm sitting here. I just literally got done. I'm gonna watch. I'm gonna brush my teeth, wash my face, and try to catch. I'm trying to catch up on Wednesday season 2, but I'm almost done with Wednesday season 2, by the way, and I think it's just as good as season 1. But anyway, it says tied into the legacy of the killer and the connections with the Strode family, the supernatural element of Michael, uh, you know, abilities are explored. His abilities are explored. His longtime adversary, Dr. Sam Loomis, Donald Pleasant. Donald Pleasant, man, I thought he was looking pretty dapper in here, man. And then it said in memory of Donald Pleasant. I was sitting there looking, I was like, damn, man, Donald Pleasant, man, he was all cleaned up, man. He wasn't all rough looking like he was in the other one. I said, all right, Donald Pleasant. I said, you must have had a little bit of time off the hill. That's what I was saying to myself when I was watching, because I was looking, I said, man, Dr. Loomis, you look pretty dapper there. But then they did say in the movie that he had been off for a little bit, and that one guy that was supposed to be his buddy invited him back, and he had something to do with all this stuff too, man. Yeah, y'all did good telling me about that, especially one of y'all in there, man. I'm telling you, man. Uh, it says Donald Pleasant is also back in yet another attempt to stop the psychopath brutal rampage, but this is I'll tell you what, this is good, man. This is up there. This is up there. I mean, this is up there in the Michael Myers top. It's gotta be. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. After watching 2, which I don't watch 2 at all, I only watch 1. I'll only watch 1. And y'all out there told me about the Curse of Michael Myers, man. And uh, man, I tell you, man, this who's the baby of my. I don't know, man. Stephen Lloyd, son of James Lloyd, and the grandnephew of Michael Myers. The plot describes him as the last surviving member of the Meyers family, born into captivity for being rescued and named by Tommy Doyle. He is the key figure in the film's storyline, which revolves around the cult of Thorn and the connection of Meyers' family curse. This is really good because I'm not gonna really get in deep about it's a the movie opens up with this chick, man. She has a baby and they take the baby and they put this marking on his chest and all this kind of stuff. And I'm sitting there looking like, man, I don't remember any of this, And so somehow she gets the baby and then she runs out. But when I was watching, I was like, no, you watch, they're gonna be. And Michael Myers, he's just walking around the facility. And so she gets in the truck, she takes off and she goes and she has a baby, she's bleeding, all this stuff, and somehow Michael Myers catches her, which, me, I'm always saying, man, Michael Myers always seemed to be just chilling, man. He'd be walking. Him and that daggone Jason Voorhees, man, I ain't never seen anybody chase somebody down, just be walking, man. They just be walking like, I don't care, man, I'll catch you. And I ain't never seen that. I just sit there, man, look at Michael, man, he just walking. This Michael, man, he was high-stepping. He wasn't running, but there was a couple times he was high-stepping. I like that mask, man. That mask was legit. Yeah, the guy that played Michael in this Curse of Michael, man, he did a good job. They said, so how did Michael Myers become cursed? I'm just reading all this out because I ain't gonna lie, man. Y'all turned me on to a good movie. Michael Myers was not curse in the traditional sense. The curse of Thorn was introduced in Halloween, the Curse of Myers, as a theological element of Thorn's storyline, where a druidic cult and constellation named Thorn influenced one child from each generation to kill their family as a sacrifice to prevent a plague. Did you get that? Dr. Wayne the Thocart placed the curse on Michael in 1963, turning him into a conduit from the evil that compelled him to murder his entire family. This is pretty good. Reason why I'm letting y'all know I appreciate y'all telling me about this, because I actually went out and bought this. I really did. I went out and bought it. I was like, you know what, y'all done turned me on to it. So I ended up getting a Blu-ray with all the, but I'm so into it now. Yeah, I'm gonna watch Halloween H2O and I'm gonna watch Halloween Resurrection. And they're all on one disc. And I was like, you know what? If you can get through Friday the 13th, and I gutted through Friday the 13th. I ain't gonna lie. Cause I sit there, I told y'all before, I said, Vic, why you buying all this stuff and you ain't opening up nothing and you ain't watching it? You know what I mean? So I was like, you gonna watch these movies. And I forced myself. It took a week and a half to get through all those movies. I was like, oh. I only, because I do like the first one. Because the first one, I like it so much because, you understand, all these movies came out, not this one. All these movies came out when I was young, out of high school. So it has a sentimental value to me. And the first Friday the 13th had Kevin Bacon in it. Kevin Bacon is the same age as me, and he was in the bed after he made love to that chick when that hand come up over his forehead and the knife went through his neck. I remember years later, I said, man, it's Kevin Bacon. Because, Kevin Bacon came out with Footloose, and then he came out with another one of my favorite ones called Tremors. I love Tremors. I didn't care for the rest of them, but I love Tremors. And Kevin Bacon was in there. I'm a big Kevin Bacon fan. Big Tom Cruise fan. I can name a bunch of them, but those two, I love those two. But Tom Cruise is slightly younger, only maybe 3 or 4 years. But yeah, man, y'all turned me on to this. So this came in the mail yesterday, right? So when I got off work, I was like, man, I really want to ride my bike. I said, I want to ride my bike right after I get off work. So I got off work at 2:30. I came home, man. I changed, got on my bike. It was a beautiful day, man. I went through the forest and on the bike path and had a great bike ride. When I got home, this was sitting on my front porch. And I was like, oh, yeah, there's my movie, you know what I mean? So I started watching it, man. After I rode 15 miles, man, I was into it, man. Next thing I know, I'm in this chair, man. I'm like, and I was like, come on, man. I said, dang, Vic, it's only like 8 something. Why are you sleeping? Then I was like, man, you done rode 15 miles, Vic. But today I worked out. And I didn't do no cardio. So I worked out, ate my food, and I popped this bad boy in. And I went back to where I, falling asleep. And I sit there and I said, man, I know why y'all like this movie. I know why y'all like this movie, man. Because that's the first one I put in. Was Halloween, The Curse of Michael Myers, man. Yeah, I got it yesterday. Blu-ray, baby. And it's all on one disc. So tomorrow, I'll probably watch, I don't know, I'll make my mind up. But anyway, it's all, I'm going to read you some more and then I'm done. Because I want to let you guys know I really got into this. The curse originated from the Celtic legend where the Druidic cult used a symbol from a constellation called Thorn to afflict a curse on one child in each tribe. Blood sacrifice. The afflicted child was then required to sacrifice their entire family on Halloween night. See, this is some good stuff. So that's why I'm glad you guys told me about this. That's why I'm letting y'all know, man. I watched this, man, and I'm, man, I ain't gonna lie, man. Well, man, I gotta say, man, I graduated in 1973, man, and I love that first one. And I ain't gonna lie, that second one shocked the crap out of me, man. I was shocked. I never give that second one a second. I never give the second one a thought. I remember watching it a long time ago. I was much younger then. I was like, it's all right. And I ain't saying it like that. I was just like, I don't know why I didn't really get into number 2. I think it's just because I love the first one so much. And it's just, I can talk about that first one all day long because, man, I mean, they were working on bare bones when they made that. I'm talking bare bones, you guys. They were wearing their own clothes. Their own clothes. They didn't have a wardrobe. And look how far this thing got. Let me see if I can find anything else and I'll let you guys go. So let's see. The Vessel of Evil. The curse transformed Michael into a supernatural entity that is driven by pure evil, giving him the inhuman strength and the compulsion to kill. Now, there was a part in here, man, where he did a good job of how he was grabbing and the kills, man, the kills in this thing was just like, a lot of those people that's in the blood, guts, and gore, this had it all. This had it all. I mean, man, there were times though when he killed people, this showed the blood splatter on stuff, and I thought that was pretty slick. Because I was like, when he killed that mom that's married to the asshole dude that was the dad, that slapped that chick in the mouth and she got blood on her, and that boy, when she got up and he said, don't you talk to me like that again, he was getting all in her face, and then she was looking, then he looked down, that boy had that knife right at his gut. I was like, oh, man. Oh, yeah. He looked down like, oh, crap, yeah. I said, you ain't so bad, because that boy could have just shoved at it. He didn't, though. But, man, Paul Rudd is in this bad boy, man, and he was like a pup. This dude was like a pup in that movie. I mean, he did a good job, though, man. Paul Rudd did a daggone good job, man. I mean, he did a daggone good job. I ain't gonna lie, y'all. I thank y'all for turning me on to this. Release date, September 29th. Sequel, Halloween H2O 20 years later. And, yeah, Donald Pleasant, man. I kind of got sad when it said in memory of Donald Pleasant because I ain't gonna lie. I was sitting in this chair saying, look old Dr. Loomis looking pretty snazzy. I thought he looked pretty snazzy. I said, now he done took some time off, man. He had time to get himself all healed up a little bit, and he looked a little bit more fresh. He looked fresh, man. Donald, there were some, to me, there were some key players in Halloween. Obviously, it's Jamie Lee Curtis. And then, I did not like that chick getting killed in the girl that was in Halloween 4. I didn't like that girl getting killed when she was in Halloween 5. I did not care for that. She went home and then, apparently her mom survived that attack from that little girl. But when she got killed, I ain't gonna lie, I'll sit there and go, okay, why? Why? it was like a wasted kill to me, you know, because that was it. Showed her getting stabbed right here, and that was it. And then the end of the movie, it showed when Michael Myers was up there with Danielle Harris, the little girl. She was sitting in the chair, and I still sit there and said, wasted kill. Why did they kill her? And then they kept they kept one of the chicks and I don't even know if that chick died or not, because I told y'all, man, it was part of that movie. I was sitting there on 5. I was sitting there saying, this is kind of getting on my nerves, because I went to that Halloween party. That Halloween party was hurt. It was kind of, but what saved the Halloween party? What saved the Halloween party was, and somebody said something in the comments. I remember there was an old lady sitting in the corner somewhere. I do remember that part, because I remember I was going and I said, okay, now what's that about? But anyway, those 2 girls was driving me crazy. They was a little bit over the top with their silliness and stuff, and I was like, man, I don't know about this one. But then what saved it for me was when Michael Myers was doing the silhouette type stuff. You know, there was parts where it looked like he was there, but he was there, but he was like in the background. He was sliding in and out. And he was getting ready to kill, but then he didn't kill, then he did kill, and then that's what saved that movie for me. And then when he chased that Danielle Harris, the girl, and her little buddy out there, you know, her little buddy, the little guy that was his little friend, they both were little kids at that time. Then he was chasing them in the car, and then, you know, it just kept going on from there. And then, you know, Dr. Loomis was like, are you going to help me now? And she goes, what do you want me to do? And I was sitting there going, dang, girl, you got some. Anyway, they set him up and went back to that house, you know. And yeah, that was a good movie, man. But this one that y'all turned me on to, man, you know, look, I was going to watch it anyway, but I didn't know. I had no idea that this one, that just goes to show you, you know, it just goes to show you how much I watched all these at one point. And I've never been that guy like, oh, this movie sucks, what a waste of time and all that. I've never been that kind of guy. I just like, well, you know, it was all right. Even when I was younger, I said, yeah, I watched the movie, man. I thought it was okay. I mean, it wasn't like the first one. I can still see my young self saying that. I've never been that type of person that's like, this is wasting my time. And let me tell you about this, blah, blah, blah. I just never been that type of person, man. You know, I enjoy watching movies. And if the movie's not that good, I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. It's just like this wasn't for me, you know. So anyway, I just thought I'd read some of this stuff to you guys. But anyway, but at the end, man, it explains how he is so, you know, how the bullets hit him, and he's just like a vessel, man. It's almost like he's a vessel. And it's really a good movie, man. So I just literally got done, and for me, I would put this as number 3. Yeah, this number 3. This number 3, hands down. And that's hard, because I feel like, and I will tell you, and I'm going to finish off on closing. Dr. Loomis coming in after Jamie Lee Curtis, which was a good thing. And Dr. Loomis really carried most of these movies. And then when Danielle Harris came in there, she came in there on the 3rd one, didn't she? And the 4th one? When did Danielle Harris come? When did Danielle Harris come in there? Because she was in... yeah, there she is. Danielle Harris, 48 years old. Man, still looking good, too. Shit. But anyway, let's see. She was in Halloween 4. She was in Halloween 5. So she was in Halloween 4. Yeah, my bad, because Halloween 3 is a different story. So yeah, she was a key player in Halloween 4 and Halloween 5. I feel like that little girl really did good to be such a young girl and to be able to carry those movies, because, you know, you had Jamie Lee Curtis that started. But in closing, you guys, I like how they kind of try to fill the gaps in. And I like how they tried to keep this stuff going. And I know a lot of people like to poop on the last 3 that came out, you know, just like they do on the Jurassic Parks. The Chris Pratt Jurassic Parks. I was talking to a guy at work. He's telling me how much. I said, man, Chris Pratt's movies, all three of them made $1 billion. I said, somebody liked them. And for me, since I'm in this big Halloween kick I'm in, I'm gonna have to tell you, man, that I wasn't disappointed in number three. I just was remembering that my young self. I walked out. I was like, I kind of wish I could have seen Michael. We all want to see Michael, just like we all want to see Jason. Uh, but man, this Michael had some pep in his step, though. I was like, shoot, look at Michael. Michael kind of got some little pep in his step. This Michael was pretty slick, man. But I ain't gonna lie, man. Michael in 5 was pretty slick. How he did that little silhouette and being in the shadows and stuff. I'm like, dang, dude, what are you doing? I'm sitting there going, oh boy, he getting ready to kill her. Yeah, he didn't kill nobody. It's like, man. But and then 4, I ain't gonna lie, you guys. I can watch these over now. I mean, it's really a refresh. But in closing, and I'm almost done because I didn't want to go this long. Paul Rudd, man, was young. And that girl that played with Paul Rudd, she was freaking hot. But, one thing I will have to say, though, I feel like, I did like Danielle Harris in the movies that she played in. She played in those crawling movies. Yeah, Hatchet 2 and she also played in that Halloween with Rob Zombie. That one was real good. The one with Rob Zombie. Yeah, she played in that. That's Rob Zombie's movie. And I'm gonna get that movie. But I ain't getting the second one because I was so into that first one that Rob Zombie went, because I had a buddy of mine. See, I'm 66. That guy, he's got to be 44 now. When I first met him, he was 21. Because me and him didn't care for each other. Because we just didn't care for each other. And then we got to talking because he's on this line, I was on that line. And we got to be friends and stuff. And at that time, he was 20. And we got to be friends and stuff. I remember taking him out for his 21st birthday, but he got drunk, man. We got him so drunk. But anyway, he told me about him. And I said, man, I know Rob Zombie, man. Yeah, he said, no, man. He said, you got to watch it, man. He said, man, he's telling us, all right, man, I'll give it a chance, man. When I watched that Halloween, I said, holy crap. So I was so into it that I couldn't wait to see the second one that he brought out. And I did not care for that second one, to be honest with you. Was I mad? No. But that first one that Rob Zombie put out, man, he did a good job. Yeah, because I'm 66, so Travis got to be about 45 now. 40, he got to be 45. But, after Jamie Lee Curtis, I felt like, Donald Pleasant picked things up. And I also feel like he carried it. And I feel like Danielle Harris also did a good job with being such a small chick. Because she was a young thing. And, I don't know, that's about all I got to say. And then this one I just watched. I know you guys probably said, damn, do you talk for? I'm just impressed. Normally when people tell me about stuff, sometimes I'm like, I go like this, I hear you. I say something like that. But then, sometimes I don't take people, kind of serious. But I did like that girl, though, that played with, I did like that chick that was in this Halloween. But one thing I have to say about those movies, though, to be honest with you, though, The Curse of Michael Myers. Yeah, that's the one I want to talk about. The Curse of Michael Myers. I want to find out who that girl is, and I'll be done. The Curse of Michael Myers, the cast. Okay, what's that chick's name? Yeah, her name was Marion Hagen. I thought she did a good job, man. I thought she looked good. She kind of looked like a Jamie Lee Curtis knockoff, but I thought she did good for what she was doing. And also, I just thought she just did all right. I was like, man, she kind of reminded me of Jamie Lee Curtis in a little bit, man. But she was just trying to protect her son because that boy that played her son, he had a neat look to him. He had this set of eyes, man. They did a good job picking that little kid. Look, I'm done, y'all. But dang, thank you. Wow. But like I said, man, in closing, man, I think a lot of these people did a good job coming in after Jamie Lee Curtis. Of course, Jamie Lee Curtis, her career took off, but Donald Pleasant carried it, and that little girl, Danielle Harris, was a good fit. And also, this one I just watched, with Paul Rudd and this girl and this cast, I thought they did a really good job. They did a good job, you guys. They really did. They just did a good job, and that's about all I got. Yeah. So I didn't want it to go this long, but wow. I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm impressed. But anyway, thank you guys very much, man. God bless. Take care. And I know I've been talking a little bit, but wow, man, I'm glad y'all turned me on to it. I got my Halloween fix on, man, and I'm really, I love my Halloween. I'm a big Christmas guy too, by the way. But Lord Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior. But I love my Halloween. It's just a kid in me, And Halloween ain't the same anymore. But thank God we got these movies and we got all these memories that we have, and we can cherish them. You know what I mean? So we'll catch you next video. We'll see you.